Senator Cisneros is here to present Melinda DeHerrera, who's been appointed to serve on the Board of Regents at Northern New Mexico College. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. I'm pleased to present to the committee Melinda DeHerrera, exceptionally qualified to serve as the Student Board of Regents for Northern New Mexico College. She is undergoing enormous activity in terms of maintaining a full-time employment as well as being a student. Clearly, she is ready to take on this task of becoming a board member at Northern. I'm certain that she's going to be able to do an exceptionally good job. Her goal right now is to graduate with a BA in 2015 and continue to work on her master's immediately following graduation. Needless to say, her years of educational and technical experience will go a long way. She has extensive background working at Los Alamos National Labs, as well as the Department of IT for the state of New Mexico. Undoubtedly, Madam Chair and members of the committee, her credentials are enough to qualify her to serve on this capacity, and I'm almost certain that she's going to do probably one of the most exceptional jobs in that institute that we've seen in many years. Just her energy, her personality, and her ability to move things forth are going to be a good opportunity for Northern to grow and expand and become the institute that it needs to be. And with that, I present Melinda DeHerrera to the committee.
Thank you. Good morning. If you'd like to say a few words, please.
Good morning, Chair. Thank you guys very much for everything, and I'm honored to be here and to be nominated as this position for Northern. Northern's been part of my life since I was a little girl. When I was young, my grandfather worked over there as an auto body teacher in El Rito, and so since then it was a starting step at Northern. My mother worked there as well. She received a degree from there as well. I started many years ago, received 2 associate degrees in applied science, started my family, got married, started my family, and then they became a college, a 4-year college, and offered a bachelor's degree in IT. And so as that was offered, I figured, well, this is my local school, this is my school, this is part of me. I figured, you know, this is a great opportunity to receive my bachelor's degree. So went back to school and have started taking classes, and I should receive my bachelor's degree in December. And we'll continue on with an agreement that Northern has with UNM to receive my certification for my master's next year.
And with that, Madam Chair, we'll yield to questions from members of the committee.
Thank you very much, Senator, and Ms. DeHerrera, thank you for your willingness to serve the state of New Mexico. As I say for everyone who sits there, your willingness to take time from your family, your studies, and everything else on your list. We truly appreciate that. And I know that Northern will appreciate the voice that you bring, especially from the students' perspective, too. With that, we'll go to the audience. Is there anyone in favor? Yes, we'll start at the back of the room. Mr. Crum.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Tim Crum. I'm president of the NM Legislature local at Northern New Mexico College. I'm very pleased to welcome Ms. DeHerrera to the board, and I want to thank Mr. Green for getting the bill whereby we can have that reading. I also have a personal sense of pride in this time to deal with.
Thank you. Anyone else in support? Yes, Madam Secretary.
Madam Chairman, members of the committee, Barbara Cameron, Secretary of the Higher Education Department. I stand in support of the nomination of Ms. DeHerrera. Again, I'm very happy we have student regents on boards of regents. I feel they strengthen them, and I look forward to her experience there at Northern, both as an undergrad and now as a graduate student, as we look at higher education across the state, that experience informing our decisions with that, and she can gain experience looking at higher education issues across the state. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes.
Madam Chair and honorable members of the committee, my name is Pedro Lorenzo Martinez. I'm the provost at Northern New Mexico. I want to say that in our system of university governance, those that are most affected by those decisions are students. So I'm glad that Northern will have an intimate voice in that process, and I hope that your confirmation will be an endorsement of that particular principle. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else in support? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Alfred Herrera. I'm the one of the outgoing members of the Board of Regents at Northern. And today is a very special day for Northern, as it's it's an opportunity, should this committee approve and the full Senate endorse that and reach a confirmation for Mrs. DeHerrera. This is the first student rep that the college has and has had. So I'm very honored that the Board of Regents, through their leadership role, officially moved that initiative forward. Prior to today's confirmation hearings, the Board of Regents was so committed to student rep on the board that we instituted through our rulemaking authority 2 advisory student members that worked with the board for a short period of time. So that again just shows the commitment that the board had to a student rep on the board. So it gives me great pleasure and honor to stand up in support of Mrs. DeHerrera's nomination today, and I hope that the committee will also see it the same way. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in support? Yes, sir.
My name is Jeff Green. I'm a former student senate president of Northern and graduated there 2 years ago. When I was in student senate, when I first started, we had no student representation on the board, so it's a great thing to happen here today to finally have a student regent on our board. I think it'll create great progress for the college, and I'm proud to support Melinda in her nomination.
Thank you very much. Anyone else in support? Anyone in opposition? Seeing none, questions or comments from committee members? Senator Ortiz-Aquino.
Madam Chairman, thank you, and thank you, Senator and Ms. DeHerrera, for being willing to serve. My only question has to do with, I know you're going to graduate this December, and your term extends through the next year.
Yes.
Does Northern offer a master's level program, and is that what your plan is, to get into that program?
Yes. So they're in agreement with UNM. They have an agreement to where the certification, the teaching, everything will be done for 1 year. So that'll fill my position all the way till the end of the
And then your degree would actually be awarded through UNM? Is that
the following year.
Following
So it's the 1 full year at Northern. I'll get my certification for the first year, and then the following year I'll have to continue on at UNM, and I'll get my master's the following year, 2017.
Very good. Well, thank you for being willing to serve, and you certainly are an impressive young member of the Board of Regents. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Senator Arizoto.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Actually, I appreciate the comments from the in support. It reminded me that in fact we did do a constitutional amendment this last year to align Northern with the rest of the universities and colleges to have a student member of the Board of Regents, and so this is I was looking at your resume, and you've got 2 associate's degrees in areas that I personally find extremely challenging and know nothing about, and with very significant GPAs on both of them, and I was actually also concerned that you were graduating in December. Was going to suggest you get a second bachelor's, but if you're going to be continuing within Northern for the following year on a certification as part of that program, I'm delighted by that. I just have to comment that